Hey, what's your problem? What's going on, folks? Today we're going to be swapping out the steering wheel on the Mustang. We're going to be finally ditching the factory steering wheel, which I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do for a long time. I've been clutching to that thing for dear life. It's not something I really wanted to do. Honestly, I'm more conflicted changing out this steering wheel than I am with swapping out that perfectly good 302 that you guys see behind me. But the time has come, because of future mods and other things, I'm gonna need a removable steering wheel, and so thought I'd go ahead and show you guys this process on how it goes. So the new hardware in the car is gonna be this Ford Performance steering wheel. This is actually the OEM steering wheel for the Ford Cobra Jet race car. And if you've never heard of the Cobra Jet race car, that's basically a factory drag car. It's not a street legal car. It's made by Ford, so I mean, you could kind of think of that as like the Ford equivalent of the Dodge Demon, except it's just not street legal, or the Viper ACR track car. It's a Ford factory track car. So anyways, that's this steering wheel. It's also cool because this is actually the same steering wheel frame that you see in the Saleen S7 supercar. So, oh, here you're back. Anyways, that's the new steering wheel that's going on. I went with the flat bottom. This is also a zero offset steering wheel. You know, you would kind of consider this a flat steering wheel. So that's basically the situation on that. The setup that I'm going to be using for this swap is a Sweet Manufacturing quick release steering wheel hub. Okay, excuse me, get out of my way, thank you. It's a Sweet Manufacturing steering wheel quick release hub. If you're not doing this kind of install, don't click off the video just yet, because I'm going to explain to you the differences, why I chose this one, and basically how all quick release or different quick release setups work. I chose this one just because this was actually a pretty good price, $115 for the whole thing, and pretty much is a very simple install. It does require welding. Other ones are just a bolt-on system, so I guess I'll pretty much explain that now. Normally, you remove your steering wheel, you bolt on what's called a steering wheel hub, which kind of looks like this, and you can then bolt your steering wheel. See how there's 6 holes here, there's also 6 holes here. You'll bolt your steering wheel directly to the hub. So the hub will normally be specific to your car, and that goes onto your steering shaft. This is a universal hub, and it actually installs to this thing. So on this setup, the hub will actually go on and off. This will be permanently attached to the steering wheel with screws, and this will go onto this stub. But like I said, normally what a lot of people do is you bolt the hub onto the steering shaft, and then you take a quick release, which is another piece of hardware, and you bolt that to the hub the same way you would bolt your steering wheel up, and then you bolt the other side of that to your steering wheel. I didn't really want to do that because all of this hardware stacked up kind of makes your steering wheel kind of long, and it ends up being really close to you, and that could be a problem because you know, if your steering wheel is all the way over to your chest, you're not really going to be able to drive that way. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the install. Alright, so because of my dash swap, I've already removed the bezel that normally goes around here. There's 2 screws that you can get from the bottom, so that's already gone. The next thing you're going to have to do, Mustang wise, is you're going to have to remove the airbag. To remove the airbag, it's a 10mm socket, and there's 4 screws at the back of the steering wheel. So we're going to go ahead and pop these off. Alright, next, after you've removed the 4 10mm bolts, the steering wheel should pop out. And mine was never even connected all this time. So now you've got that out. Next thing you're going to have to do is remove this bolt right here, and then attach your steering wheel puller, which I have. If you don't have a steering wheel puller, it's not something people commonly have. You can rent those at Advance or Auto Parts for free. Alright, so what we've got here is a couple of wheel puller tools. This is the one that you'll typically see places, and this is the one that I actually own. This one didn't work out just because the space between here and here is actually too large. I need to get a smaller tool, so I went ahead and rented one like I said you can do. This is a 2-slotted one. I don't know if these bolts will actually thread into the steering wheel where it's got those threaded holes, but that's why I have all these, so I can kind of mix and match to see what works. But if you have one of these tools, or if you go to rent one of these, this isn't going to do it. You got to get the two slotted one. Alright, so it was a slight pain in the butt to get this wheel puller installed, pretty much because the holes that these screws go into are really shallow. They only have like 3 threads in them. I'm pretty sure this is the wrong screw for it, but I'm pretty sure I cross-threaded it, but I just mashed it in there really good, got it tight. It did pop out a few times, but like I said, I just mashed it in there really good. Tighten this thing down, and it popped the steering wheel right off. Alright, next up, we're at a device which is called a clock spring, and this is basically what transfers the electrical signals from your steering wheel to the rest of your dash, like your cruise control and your horn and everything. It's basically this kind of rotating plug, and I don't know, it kind of looks like a record player on the inside. But anyways, to get this off, there's 3 Torx bit screws, and most of us have tools like this that doesn't actually fit down in there. So since I won't be reusing my clock spring, I think I'm just going to break it off with this screwdriver and just kind of pry it off. For you, I don't know, most people don't want to destroy stuff on their cars, but you know, clock spring wise, this is going in the trash anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and break this off. Alright, so that actually popped off really easily, so you can kind of see what the inside of the clock spring looks like, just like I said, like a record player. Each one of these rings touches the contact over here, and I don't know, maybe you would call these brushes, but basically one of these is the horn, because I touched the screwdriver to it earlier and the horn blew. But anyways, one of these is the horn and the cruise control or whatever else. I think it would be a good idea to take this out, if not this whole plate. We're going to see what I can get out. So we're going to disconnect all of this, and then we're going to put on that steering wheel adapter. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled the plate off, and you can see what's going on behind there. This is the key release button right here. You can kind of see how that works. This is your turn signal stalk. The switch, the little thing that goes to your clock spring, that actually unplugs from right behind your steering wheel, as well as the other end of the clock spring. There's a plug for that, so you can just disconnect that. You don't have to clip any wires or anything crazy. I think I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this back on here, but I'm gonna paint it, you know, just so it looks a little bit nicer. And then we're gonna go ahead and start assembling the new steering wheel. Alright, so I've done a little bit of test fitting, and I've got the new steering wheel stub on here lined up pretty much just the way that I like it. Since this is a universal fit, obviously it's going to be a little bit loose on there. This is made to be welded on, so what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to wrap electrical tape around this actually to get it centered, perfectly centered. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tack welds all the way around the edge of this thing just to keep it on there nice and solid. And then I may actually drill straight through the center of this thing and put a bolt in it just for added security. So that's that. Obviously I have to make sure I got this thing centered up, because the splines on here, if it's cocked to the side the wrong way, then my steering wheel is going to be off to the side. Even if I do the clicks, it may not line up. So I'm just going to make sure I get everything lined up. I'm going to make a couple of marks on it, and then I'm going to bust out the welder. I actually really wanted to do this with one of my buddies who has a much better welder, because my friends have better welders than I do. But if I'm careful with it, I can keep from throwing sparks all over everything. I just have to cover up in here and just be careful with it. Alright, now I've got everything masked off as best as I can. I've got some cardboard here and blankets all over the car. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to put these tack welds on. Fire! Alright, so that was a bad idea. Take two. Definitely leave me a comment down in the comment section and tell me about how cardboard is flammable. Alright folks, those are definitely some of the most heinous welds I've ever done, if I do say so myself, but I got it done, I laid it on thick, and it's something I can be confident in. So, for the finished product, go ahead, slap the steering wheel on there, and that's how she's gonna sit. Now, unfortunately, this is pretty much the view that I'm gonna have from the driver's seat. And as you can see, my speedometer is completely obstructed. Even though these gauges that you see here are my backup gauges, and I'm gonna run a little bit different setup as soon as I can come up with something. I don't know, it is what it is. Poor ergonomics for now, but that's actually gonna give me a cool opportunity for something that I want to come up with. I was thinking that I need something to cover up this ugliness that we got back here. I don't know, just wait and see what I come up with. The ideas are actually forming in my head right now. It's gonna be pretty cool. Check it out, folks. This is the first thing I've ever designed in 3D and printed myself. I was pretty much getting this idea as I was closing out the video, so I'll go ahead and show you what I plan on doing with this. Alright, so I started out pretty much just making a bezel just to cover up my ugly welds and some of those parts that weren't really meant to be exposed on the steering column. But I decided I was going to go ahead and incorporate a partial mount for the tablet, because this is actually going to be my display. So as you can see, the tablet is going to sit on here like such. I'm still going to need, you know, some kind of Velcro or something on the back side. And you'll see how it all goes together in a second. That's going to sit in there just like such. And I'm going to bolt that right to that plate, just like the clock spring was bolted. That's not actually touching the steering shaft, so the steering wheel is going to turn naturally like it should. And now I actually have a place to mount my my tablet. Alright folks, so here's the finished product. It's fully installed. I messed it up right here when I installed it. I punched a hole through it. That's going to annoy me. I'll probably make another one. But in the meantime, this thing is in here. Alright, and here's a preview of what it's going to look like with the dash on. I'm probably going to put some Velcro or some magnets or something up there just to hold things in place. But my dash is going to live on here something like this. This ugly cord that you guys see back here that's coming through for my speedometer is actually going to power the dashboard. And everything's going to go together just like such. So there's the finished product, folks. And again, I'm going to go ahead and close that video. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you next time.